understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
When I eat a brain, I get visions.
Don't ever come back to Gotham.
You have failed this city.
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, May 4th, 2019. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined.
And I'm Sarah Netzley, academic by day, freelance writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And this week, we have 6 new episodes, including 1 premiere.
Yay! We have a show come back.
Welcome back, iZombie.
Yay! Welcome back, iZombie. Yeah. This is a busy day. We had a busy weekend last week in pop culture. It's a busy day today. We're recording this on May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
Yes. and Sarah, I don't know if you know this, but today also happens to be Free Comic Book Day.
Hey, Free Comic Book Day. Are you headed someplace to take advantage of this opportunity?
Yeah, I probably am as soon as you finish recording. Although, a lot of the good free comics may be taken. So, yeah.
Did you put this podcast over free comic books? I'm touched.
Yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice. And, this will be being posted after Free Comic Book Day's over, but just Free Comic Book Day etiquette. It's a great chance to go out, support small businesses, but also if you're gonna go, buy something. Yeah, because the shops give away those comics for free, but they have to pay for them. And it's just a nice way to help out. The shop I go to, Comic Book Jones, they usually have like artists and writers signing. And there's always some fun stuff to do. It's a nice little geek celebration.
Yeah, I have a friend who is a big cosplayer, and I know she often goes on Free Comic Book Day, and she dresses like Wonder Woman or what have you, and that's fun because you get a lot of kids in the shops. So it's a nice. Can we call it a holiday? Let's call it a holiday.
Yeah, let's call it a holiday. It's people coming together to celebrate. Why not? Yeah, and it's always first weekend in May, and it often does fall on May the 4th be with you.
And while we're at it, R.I.P. Peter Mayhew, a gentleman, a kind man, an important part of all of our childhoods.
Yes. Rest in peace, my friend. Never met him. Don't know why I called him my friend, but
because he was our friend. He was all of our friends. He was our tall, furry friend.
Yes. Yeah, this is true.
Sad Wookiee noise.
Oh,
that was good.
Oh, thank you. I haven't tried to do that every night for the last 20 years.
Do you have a range of Wookiee expressions in your arsenal? Awesome.
All right. So yeah, we had 6 shows. We got another full boat this week. Lot going on. Yeah. So yeah. Sarah, is there anything going on that you think we need to discuss, or anything?
When you ask it like that, it makes me think there is something that I should be bringing up.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, well, we can say up front. We could talk about our plans for Lucifer season 4.
Yes.
Yes. So Lucifer season 4 will be dropping on Netflix this upcoming Wednesday. And this is the first series that we're going to cover that is bingeable. Where the entire all of the episodes for one season drop on the same day. So Sarah and I have been going back and forth. We've asked for listener input that we have, roundly not listened to.
Okay, you weren't supposed to be quite that honest. Yeah, that's nice. Sit down.
But just for us, because this is theoretically a news and commentary podcast, and we don't want to like hang back on things. We've decided that next week we will be recording one show to cover the other 6 episodes that are dropping next week. For all of the other shows, it'll be like a regular episode that we're recording today, and then we will do a separate episode that will probably drop Sunday or Monday that will cover all of Lucifer, and we will be watching them one at a time, and then doing a short little recap and commentary for each episode separately, as as I'm watching them.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes.
Am also recapping the show for Entertainment Weekly. So if you hit the website at some point on Wednesday when it drops, you'll find my commentary for every episode on Wednesday. So I'm then going to rewatch on Saturday, Sunday, whenever we're doing it with Ed, just to remind myself of where the characters are emotionally each hour, and doing that as well. But you can hear Sara times 2 on Lucifer, basically. Written thoughts for EW, a little bit looser commentary with my good friend Ed. So that is, it's going to be a very Lucifer week for me. I'm going to be seeing Tom Ellis in my dreams, which is fine. It's just fine. It's fine.
It's a good thing. Okay.
It's a good thing. So, and I will say, without spoiling anything, I have seen some of these episodes, and you're going to like it. Lucifer friends, you're going to like this new season. They've got good stuff for us. So stay tuned, get hyped, subscribe to Netflix if you haven't. Yeah, Lucifer, it's back.
Cool.
Thanks,
That's
Dad.
exciting. All right. You ready to dive into the rest of the regular shows this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First episode is Supergirl. Season 4, episode 19, American Dreamer. Kara did a deep investigative dive into Ameritech's connections to Lex Luthor. Nia stepped in to fill the void left by Supergirl. George Lockwood rode along with the Children of Liberty and began having second thoughts about his father's mission. Brainy offered the suffering James a mind palace to help him find the root of his trauma and gain control of his burgeoning superpowers. Last minute reveal, John was thanked by his father's spirit for bringing the religious totems back to the desert of Taz.
I feel like I say this every week with Supergirl. This was a busy episode.
Yes.
Like 5 different storylines.
Yeah, you had a lot going on here.
And I just want to give a special shout out to Ben Lockwood's child, who, when discovering his classmate is an alien, says, "Why didn't you tell me?" And his classmate looks him dead ass in the eye and says, "Why do you think?" A+ work by that alien classmate actor.
What do you think I'm an idiot?
That child is straight up wearing an armband in a Crystal Knox style raid, and that kid says, "Why didn't you tell me?" Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I started off with Lockwood. So I am so disappointed that Ben Lockwood in the last couple of episodes has devolved from brilliant rhetorical worm tongue to shouty racist bureaucrat.
Yeah.
The nuance is gone, and I'm super disappointed about that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, well, he has the power now, so he's gonna try to use it. But yeah, I think what's weird is like they're sort of bringing the depth of that character over to George.
And I get the storytelling of it. You have to have a big bad. You have to ramp up toward the end of the season, and that's where we are. I don't fault them for it, but I am disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Now, Sarah, I think, okay, I know you're the journalist, but I actually think that Kara Danvers did a really good job being a journalist this week. Am I wrong?
Oh, Ed, you're wrong.
Oh.
Okay, so I am of two. I applaud this show for making the case that journalism is important and necessary and life-changing. It is, and I'm so glad it's doing it. But interrupting your regularly scheduled program for an interview that doesn't have, for like a puff piece, it's an important puff piece, but it's not like it's news-based, and then it was so effective. Dreamer's words were so effective to talk about, like, I'm an alien, but I'm also a Gryffindor. That was so great. But it wasn't news, strictly speaking. That's not really how you do news. And Kara being like, your mom would be so proud. I felt the emotion of that, but also that's Barbara Walters journalism. That's not journalism. So I'm so sorry to yuck your yum, and I don't mean to, but it was effective, but not logical.
Okay.
With this show, I always let my emotion carry me, and so it worked. It was great.
Okay. But what about the first half of the episode, the investigative reporting?
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, she's going...
Oh, God, I'm sorry,
She's going through the files, she's making the board, turning the window into a whiteboard. Like, I actually thought that was really cool. I thought that was well done.
That was good. I liked when she was like, I got these pictures and I got a big window. Let's do this. And you're right. I'm so sorry. I have maligned the good name of Kara Danvers, journalist. She followed the money. She tracked the Amertech to Casnia. She worked with Lena. Like, she did good journalism there. You are correct. I was going for the emotional showstopper of the episode, which I thought was poor journalism, but you're right. She did good stuff too.
Okay. I'd like that on the record.
That Ed was right on the record.
No, just that a CW superhero show could show effective investigative reporting. Like, this is, like, it's possible.
And has Supergirl avoided the really bad legal system trap that her companions on the network have fallen into? I feel like I haven't yelled about Kara court stuff.
Yeah. I think you could put aside Lex Luthor's sham trial just because, because it's Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah.
But
well, he murdered everybody in the courtroom, didn't he? So I feel like that kind of negates.
Yes. Yeah. But it certainly did not go down the morass that Flash and Arrow have put us through.
Morass is a good word for that.
Yeah. So we got to see Kara be a reporter. She's getting friendlier with Lena.
Oh, that Lena confession, apology, forgiveness scene was lovely. I think that actress is one of the best criers on the show. So anytime you have Lena upset and crying, I don't want to see Lena cry, but when she has to, she's great at it.
Yes. And I'm just going through. And then we had. You talked about Nia. Revealing herself in that interview. Oh, she didn't reveal her identity, but she opened up in that interview. What'd you think of her finally getting out there and stretching her superhero legs?
I enjoyed that. I like seeing her control her powers. I don't quite understand her powers. I enjoy them. She has a light lasso that is not Wonder Woman's, and that's cool. I feel like her powers have developed off screen, I think. In a way, and I guess we didn't need the Karate Kid training montage, but I'm always a little surprised by what she can do because we haven't really seen it. I thought she was a dreamer, but she also is here's some sort of flashy super weapon. Ed, the fight in the bar set to American Woman, did that work for you?
Yeah. I think it was a little on the nose, but I think it did the job.
I'm the same. I was like, oh, I see exactly what you're doing here. This is not subtle, but the show is not subtle. So carry on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think people are gonna, it felt a lot like that fight in the Captain Marvel movie recently, to that Gwen Stefani song.
funny. That didn't bother. I'm just a girl. That one didn't hit me. It didn't rub me quite the wrong way, the way this one did. This one felt a little more obvious, but I don't know. I was in a Captain Marvel place, so I was forgiving everything in that movie. So
yeah. And, you see, the one thing with that storyline, you got to see how hard it is for alien refugees who are not superheroes. And, they're just trying to lead normal lives. And all of a sudden, you find yourself sleeping on the floor of a bar.
Or Franklin staying at work because he's scared to go home. I thought that was really a telling detail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so and here's the I don't know how I feel about this storyline, but James in Brainy's Mind Palace.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Getting locked in a casket is awful.
Yes.
Yikes. Yikes. And I was genuinely happy when they got it all resolved and you come back into the lab and he's floating, like he's kind of made peace with his powers. That's cool. And I super loved the end when he just straight up crushes Ben Lockwood's whole arm. It says, "This is journalism. Get out." Like, yes. I don't know that I needed quite as much time in the Mind Palace. I'm not sure I needed James Olsen's emotional trauma journey, but okay, we got what we got. So
I was a little confused because, like, okay, it's a horrible thing that those kids beat him up and locked him in that casket, but the thing I'm confused about is why he lied to his sister about it. Like, that's why he wasn't at his dad's funeral.
I think he lied to himself about it. Like, it was so traumatic that he couldn't process it. So the story he told himself was, I was locked in a bathroom and not, I was shut in a coffin contemplating my own death. Like, I think that's the point, is that although I don't know why at the time he wouldn't have. Over the years, I get that you would bury that, but immediately, I'm not sure why you wouldn't go to your sister and be like, "Do you know what just happened to me? Oh my God." So I didn't quite understand that, but I understand the passage of time making you tell a different story that you come to believe. I don't know. I wasn't that into the whole journey, but that's not a surprise because it's James.
Yeah.
Sorry, James.
Yeah. And so we go through this whole episode, and then all of a sudden at the end, it's like, oh yeah, John went to Mars.
You know why that is? It's because David Harewood directed the episode. So he was busy behind the camera, so he couldn't really be in front of the episode. I'm not sure why we had to see John off planet like that, but
yeah. Yes, and and the other big cliffhanger that happens at the end of the episode is Ben Lockwood comes home to find his wife Lydia has been killed by one of the aliens who had her husband taken away by the Children of Liberty.
Or does whoever did it want him to think it was by that alien? I have no knowledge. It could be a lot of things, but either way, it's not going to make things better on the Lockwood front.
Yeah. So and this is this week we got 3 of these left. It's coming to a head.
It is coming to a head.
Yep. It's intense. Are you ready, Sarah? I don't know if I'm ready.
Yes, I am, in part because I'm also the recapper for this on EW, and I've enjoyed it, but I'm also looking forward to my summer off. So I am looking forward to it.
All right. Was there any news on Supergirl this week?
Just that we have a title for the finale. It's going to be called The Quest for Peace. Ed, why does that sound so
there was a movie that the guy who plays Lex Luthor was in.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
Like Pretty in Pink? No, that's not.
Yeah, no. I'm just wondering if we're gonna get Nuclear Man.
So yeah, that's a fun callback to a Superman movie. In it, Kara will fight back against Lex Luthor using the power of the press. So brace for me to talk about my extremely mixed emotions about that in 3 weeks.
All right. All right. All right. So now next episode is DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 13, Egg MacGuffin. In 1933, Gordon Gilchrist brought a golden egg he discovered in the Arctic to the New York Adventurers Club. Sarah sent Zari and Nate after the egg and made a bet with Ava that the couple would hook up on the mission. Mick and Charlie decided to scam Romanticon and make a public appearance as Rebecca Silver. Ray realized Neron was attempting to possess him. Last minute reveal, Nate and Zari discovered that the egg they recovered was a dragon egg.
I am a broken record as regards this show, but dang, I felt nothing but pure joy this week watching this show. I was texting with Tanya Melendez last night, our friend of the show, and she was like, "Oh, thank God you finally watched it. I swear this was a love letter to you, both real me and romance writer me." So yeah, it was. They wrote this for me. Thank you, Legends of Tomorrow. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was interesting that Charlie and Mick are immediately going for like, oh, we can scam these people.
I love those two together. They're such a strange pair, and I love them.
And I thought, Mick's decision, to preserve Rebecca Silver's integrity and, eventually come out and admit that he's the real Rebecca Silver. I thought that was touching.
I wanted that so badly from the very beginning. I wanted him to finally step up and say it's me, and I wanted him to be accepted and embraced by the fans, and it all happened. And I honestly may have shed a little tear. I mean, that was really, really well done. And his passionate defense of creation and connection and all of that was so nice. So Mick Rory, his character arc over the course of The Flash and now this show is just stellar. And every moment of that, including him selecting the perfect author glasses, red cat eye, that was the right choice. All of it. Oh, beautiful.
Okay. And we found out we have a dragon egg on this show.
So let's talk about all the different pop culture references we had this week. I feel like that's feeling like a Game of Thrones thing. Of course, you had a little bit of Game Night. You had a little bit of Evil Dead. You had a little bit of Indiana Jones. The whole thing was just a million different pastiches, if you want to see it that way. And I loved it. But yes, so we got a dragon egg. We've got the Indiana Jones heist, which they thought was set up just to be a fun romantic thing. And Sarah being like, wait, no, those are really Nazis, like real Nazis.
Yeah. Could the Ray Neron storyline be a throwback to Idle Hands?
It could definitely be Idle Hands. They're also, Jason and I always joke, there was an episode of Angel, the TV show Angel, where somebody gets a hand transplant and it's an evil hand. And he actually holds it up and is like, evil hand, sorry. And he starts hitting people. So we actually said out loud last night, evil hand, sorry. And I mean, definitely we had a groovy straight out of Evil Dead. So the whole, so good. Dang it, show. Why are you so good?
Yes. Lot to talk about. We did have a tweet this week from at Tanya Mel, who gave us some homework that I was not able to fulfill because I literally just read this about 3 minutes before we started recording. But Sarah, you took her up on it. Is Mona on Legends the worst person to ever board the ship? I think she is. Oh, wow. I like Mona. Let me turn this into a real question. Please rank all of the Waverider writers from least to most annoying AF. That's not a question, it's a request.
And because I love her very much, and because I am also a very obedient person, I did this. I went to Wikipedia. I looked at all the people who've been... Okay, so least to most annoying. This was hard because characters have evolved over the years. So in some cases, I tried to take kind of the average of their personalities over the seasons, and other times I just went with my heart. Number 1, Gideon. she's awesome. Number 2, Sarah, she's awesome. Number 3, Ava, she's awesome. Number 4, Rip, awesome. You might notice I've started with the authority figures. I'm aware of this about myself. Martin Stein, not annoying, logical, kind, warm father figure. Zari, she's awesome. Ray, a little bit lower. I love Ray like pancakes, but I do see that his Boy Scoutiness could maybe be a little irksome. Snart, I like a snarly, sarcastic guy whose heart is in the right place. Nora Dark, non-demon possessed Nora Dark. She's tough. She takes no guff. She has a past. Nate, he's gotten better. This is definitely the average of the seasons. Constantine, love him, would be a nightmare roommate. Mick Rory, love him, would be a nightmare roommate. Amaya, sorry Amaya, you're just, you're bland, you're toast. You like, Jax, fine, whatever. Gary, love Gary, would be irksome. Mona's not last on my list. I think she means well, but she doesn't express herself except when she calls for a whole convention room full of romance authors to turn on the woman at the microphone, which was not cool. Hawk Girl, because Hawk Girl. Wally, aka Kid Flash, mostly because he was so awful on Flash, and then he's here and whatever. And last, most annoying, obviously Hawkman. Hello. The end.
He was on the show for half an episode.
I don't care. Last. He is the most annoying. He's dead last on this list. Ed, would you have put different people top or bottom? Just
I mean, I don't know. I didn't think Wally West was that bad on the show.
I will say, on this show, he was not that bad.
Yes.
I told you, an average of all of it. I took into account. And did you forget his hair?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. I'm sorry. Anyway, Tanya, thank you. That was fun. Please tweet us back with your own list.
Yes.
Did you enjoy Sarah's difficulty in getting through the book club book? Because I've been there. That was very recognizable.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. I thought it was really mean for Ava to make her read that when she clearly does not read the books.
Well, if I can defend Ava, I think she probably assumed everybody understands that you don't read the book for book club. I say this as somebody who's in a book club this summer for the first time in a long time. Tanya, I am going to read the book, I swear. I'm going to read the book.
I was going to say, is that a thing? Is that?
It is. And I know one of the members listens to this podcast because it's Tanya. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the joke is, but yeah, I actually, and that was really true to Sarah's character. I thought that she would probably finally make it through with the audio because she's such an active, action-oriented person. For her to do that while she's doing something else, that was just a really great character beat for her, I thought.
Yeah, and getting to watch her work out while she's doing that, I thought that was nice.
Yeah, and I also like that. I think the title was "The Girl Who Got Murdered Too Much," which is a perfect spoof of every book club book over the last 10 years. Gary finding Ray in the bathroom and being like, "This bathroom is my crying spot." So let's talk about evil Gary.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
No. Mm-hmm. I mean, I fully believe that they're gonna save Ray, but I'm a little worried about Gary. I don't know if this is a show that kills Gary when he turns to the dark side or rehabs Gary when he turns to the dark side. I'm honestly not sure.
I don't know. I don't know if he's still on the show next season.
And this was another situation that felt sort of inevitable. I mean, like this is one of those, like, Gary, he has been crapped on since we've known him. This is the guy who's going to snap. That makes really good sense based on everything that they've established about this character. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah. And who knew that he would give up everything just for a nipple?
He's really upset about that nipple. It's been brought up a couple of times. But I mean, him realizing that Ray doesn't love him, so that sacrifice isn't good enough. The whole... and Sarah yelling at Gary. I mean, they kind of all deserved it. This is, I don't know. I think the writing on this has been for a goofy, fun show. When you have moments of seriousness or moments that you have to put together why a character is doing something. I think it all hangs together really well. I think it's a very thoughtfully crafted season-long arc here. So.
Yeah.
Also, Zari and Nate got some kissing on, and that was good too.
Yeah. So I guess that's a thing now.
I'm into it.
Okay.
Do it.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Everyone deserves to be happy.
Even Nate.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we'd gotten a little bit more of an update of what's going on with Hayworld, but yeah, I guess you can't do that every episode.
Well, this actually is a good transition into news if you're ready.
Sure.
The title of the finale has been released, and guess what? That title is Hey World. Hey, world. So I have to believe that the final showdown is going to take place in or around that opening Dragon Gate to Hey World, don't you think?
Yes, certainly. Yes.
If you can't have a giant Bebo, you can have a giant Dragon Gate.
So last week we had it in Old Western Town. Last season, this season is going to end in an amusement park. This could be fun. This is going to be interesting.
Never stop being awesome, show.
All right. Is that it for Legends this week?
That's it for Legends this week.
All right. Next up is Arrow, Season 7, Episode 20, Confessions. Dinah and Sergeant Bingsley interrogated members of Team Arrow suspected in the murder of 2 cops at a metro station. 3 days earlier, Oliver and Felicity called in Roy Harper to help stop a terrorist plot hatched by Amico and the Ninth Circle. Last-minute reveal, Oliver lay unconscious, pinned under an exploded building, unable to respond to Felicity's cries on the radio.
All right, I feel like when you drop a building on the main character, there might not be any coming back from that.
Ooh, yeah. This felt very classic old-fashioned 40 serial, where it's like, okay, we're gonna.
Who knows what lurks in the heart of the shadow knows. Tune in next week.
Yeah, this feels like, okay, we're gonna literally show the hero falling off of a cliff. And then next week, oh no, he threw his grappling hook at just the right time.
Next week, join us for the Happy Housewife Dishwasher Hour to find out, Oliver Queen, does he survive? I'm so sorry, continue.
Yeah. This episode, I mean, they tried doing a different thing where it's like, okay, we're going to do... I feel like, this is a trope that happens on shows from time to time where it's like, okay, we're gonna start, we're gonna do the interrogation, we're gonna do the Rashomon thing, as you learn the story, and I don't know, I was not as into it.
Same. I slowly came around to, okay, they're each telling a story and they're layering their stories together. That's cool. I think they saved the most powerful stuff for the last 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. You know what was bothering me the whole time is that Dinah was so gung-ho, and Dinah was so against them that it felt so out of character. And I know they said in the end, okay, this is a cover-up, so that's why Dinah's going to come at you that hard. But I don't know. To me, it was just distracting the whole episode.
See, and I have never really come back around to her after she turned against Oliver so hard last season. So I feel like I still just am suspicious of her motives, I guess. So her being like that doesn't feel that weird to me because she was so awful to Oliver back in the day. So that didn't really faze me. I do think her being involved in that heavy cover-up, and frankly... framing Amico is cold. That was before she dropped the building on Oliver. That was just cold. To me, that says that they've given up on her, and that surprised me that Oliver. I mean, they've established it, and I get it, but I thought Oliver would keep holding out for the good in his sister, and apparently not. If he's telling the police that she's a straight murderer.
Yes, yeah, this is true. So. Yeah.
But let's talk about that Roy reveal. Ooh. That was so effective. That was a gut punch. And it made sense. I mean, I actually had that thought like, wow, that's some bloodlust there, huh? But it didn't even occur to me. It didn't even occur to me that that's what happened until Oliver kind of quietly asked, when did you die? Oh, man.
Yeah, you find out that they've, that he and Thea have been running around the world trying to destroy Lazarus pits. And Roy evidently got killed. They had to throw him in one. And who knew Lazarus pit plus Mirakuru? Oh man, that's all kinds of screwed up.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah. And this is gonna lead to them being on the outs with the cops again. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of Sergeant Bingsley angling to be a regular next season?
It did sort of feel like they were suddenly positioning somebody who would stand in the back with no lines in front of the camera with a ton of lines in a way that kind of surprised me.
Mm-hmm. I thought I applauded him. Looked like he was going for it.
Good work, sir.
Yeah. And Roy. This was Roy's only episode in the present, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So it's weird because like that to me is the show I want now. Is him and Thea running all over the world trying to destroy Lazarus pits. Like that to me.
Well, imagine the conflict when your mission is to destroy Lazarus pits. Your love is killed. Do you use the thing you're trying to destroy to bring him back? I mean, the hypocrisy of that, not to, get on Thea's case, that's a really interesting story.
Yeah.
I would love to see that play out.
Yeah. And what's weird is like, this happens a lot in comic book movies and TV where someone will make an offhanded comment about a story that is much more interesting than the story that you're watching. It's like, why can't we just watch that?
And it is human nature, because then when you see that story, it might not be as cool as you think it is because you have to live with them. It's why supporting characters in books and TV shows are often so interesting. And then when you bring them front and center, it's like, maybe not.
But all right, and it's weird, like, because I feel like Roy has not been in the flashbacks much at all. I mean, the flash forwards much at all for like the last month or so. I thought it was interesting that they decided to bring him into the present,
and really prominently so.
Yeah. But I'm sure he'll be in the flash forwards, next week. And we only got 2 left.
Yeah, this one's winding down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any news for Arrow?
Yeah. So we have a little bit of information on the finale. It's apparently going to bring back some familiar faces. I don't know who we haven't seen, who we'd like to see. If you have thoughts about who we haven't seen, who you'd like to see, tweet at us. And then we do have news on one familiar face that is coming back in episode 21, the penultimate episode. If you don't want to hear, jump ahead 15 seconds. I'll give you a second. But looks like we're going to see Tommy Merlin. Ooh. Colin Donnell is in the promo photos that have been released for next week's episode. I mean, I'm guessing it's a hallucination caused by building on Oliver's head. But that'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Ed, do you still miss Tommy? Do you feel like that's a loss, or was that necessary to move the show to where it is now?
I feel like it was necessary. I think it's fun how they've been sort of bringing him back, but I'm glad that he's not like back permanently. Because I feel like, it's one of those things where like that death means something. And bringing him back would lessen that meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And that's, I think, also what made in the crossover where he was the evil Nazi even more powerful, because we don't see him much, and now he's an evil Nazi.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway.
All right.
So that's that for Arrow for me.
Cool. All right. Next episode. All right. Next episode, The Flash, Season 5, Episode 20, Gone Rogue. Nora brought Weather Witch, Bug-Eyed Bandit, and Ragdoll together for a heist. Caitlin and Ralph traveled to Icicle's lab for clues on Cicada 2. Sherlock and Cisco bonded over their lady issues. Last minute reveal, Cicada 2 put together her lethal meta weapon while reciting a nursery rhyme to a hallucination of her uncle.
You know what I'm excited about? We have a lady villain who's a weirdo.
Yeah, it was just strange. That was just okay.
I mean, we get a lot of sort of off-kilter dude bad guys, but she's just she's cracked, and I love it.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, you know, everything's been so much about Nora and Thawne for like the last few weeks that Cicada's sort of taken a back seat, but they do sort of creep her in every now and then. Like, this is going on, and it just seems really weird. You've got little Grace, who's still in her coma, in the corner. And Cicada 2's just in her workshop putting together some strange type of weapon. And we found out now.
And just hallucinating the uncle she killed.
Yes. Yeah. It's an interesting visual, and you realize, like, oh, this is screwed up. And like,
oh no.
And it's also like, if you stop Cicada 2, how do you then help Grace so that she doesn't grow up to be like that?
Ed, we've discussed this. You don't. Sorry, Grace.
Oh, this is gonna be like the she needs killing defense. Is that it?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What else? Oh, what did you think of the new rogues, the young rogues, as they called themselves?
I thought look, I never want to see Ragdoll again, but they were good. They were fun. I liked the relationship. They don't really like each other, but they're going to work together, and everybody's creeped out by Ragdoll. I really appreciated that. That was cool. I mean, it's not the same as the, like, Snart and Mick, you know, that obviously that dynamic is never going to be as good as that, but they were fun. They were good. I liked seeing Crazy Bee Girl again. I liked Cisco being like, hey girl, what's going on? That was good stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, she's just, oh yeah, I was in the neighborhood, just thought I'd come down for a heist.
You know. Okay, did this show not kick the door wide open for the introduction of Sue next season?
Oh man. Oh yes. You had Caitlin and Ralph had that great moment. Where you realize, like, Ralph's been pushing off his list of his self-help stuff onto everybody, and then he has that moment with Caitlin where he admits that, it works for other people but not for him. And he doesn't think that he's meant to have love, and she gives him that pep talk, and he and I thought that I was really pleased with that moment when he kind of leaned in, and Caitlin was immediately like, no, I want you to be happy.
No,
not with me.
You misunderstood. And I'm glad for that too. I like the two of them together, but I like the buddy dynamic, so I'm pleased with how that played out. But it felt to me like anytime a character says, I wasn't meant for love, the gods of dramatic irony insist that you introduce love at the next available opportunity. Hello.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. And I hope he meets Sue sometime in the next 2 episodes, because there's 2 episodes of this show left.
You think this season? I was thinking that was kind of looking ahead to next season, but
I mean, if he meets her in the finale, I think, and we have, the sense that next season is going to be about their courtship, I would be pleased with that.
Now I'm nervous for casting this character that I don't even know is coming to the show. They better get this right. Or woe be it onto them.
Has Kate Micucci shown up on this show yet? I think she would be an interesting Sue. I think that would be fun.
Do I know that actress?
She was on Big Bang Theory for a spell. She was one of Raj's girlfriends. She's
that explains why I don't know that actress.
She's in
sorry.
She's in a comedy music group called Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh yes, gotcha. She's Dead Tooth from My Name Is Earl, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
No.
Fine.
You're thinking of Juliette Lewis. No. She.
No. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
is she a Sue type?
Yes, I think so. All right.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So we'll see. Probably not. They'll probably go with someone else.
Fan casting Sue with the DC TV report.
Yes. What else? I thought it was interesting that they had the first heist that happens is in an architect's office. I thought it was weird that, okay, we're not going to a warehouse or a medical supplies company or a tech company, that we're going to architects. I thought that was a nice change of pace.
Agreed.
For these shows. And the way they kind of Barry literally set up tachyon scanners all over the city, which is fun because if anyone doesn't know, in Star Trek, in like 90s Star Trek TV shows, whenever they brought up tachyons, that was usually code for, we don't really know what this is, so we're just going to use this term as a placeholder. So it's like, okay, we need to take down their shields. Well, why don't we just send 2 tachyon bursts? Oh, okay, it works. That's not the case here. Here, tachyon actually kind of means something, but I thought that was fun.
Incidentally, I have finally caught up on the Orville, so that happened too. You mentioned Star Trek. So
oh, yes.
That's what you get. It's good. All right, Kate Micucci was not in My Name is Earl. I was wrong. I don't know who I'm thinking. I mean, I was thinking of the right actors. I don't know who I was thinking of for My Name is Earl. I'm sorry. Continue. Yeah. Fact-checking. Real-time fact-checking. I was wrong. That's on me. Mea culpa.
Okay. Cisco and Sherlock. Your thoughts?
It has taken me legit this long to come around to Sherlock. I don't know what it was this week, but I was just like, you know what? All right. You got me. I don't even remember what he was doing. Oh, him being trained in the art of escape. That's what it was. Sherlock being like, I'm trained in the art of escape. Of course you are. Of course you studied Harry Houdini. That is so on brand.
Yes. Now, Sarah, you know what that means, right? You finally warmed up to him, so you know what that means, right?
He's gonna die, or he's gonna leave and go back to his Earth.
He's just gotta go. Like, it's time now.
Yeah. It still baffles me that this is the choice that they made for the full season Wells that we got, but it's fine. And also you get the reverse Flash too, so you do get double dose, of course. But I truly thought Sherlock was going to be a 1 or 2 episode guy, and then they replace him with a different Wells. But no. Mm-hmm. But you're right. Now that I've finally warmed to him, that's it. Also surprising to me, Iris looked super badass. Breaking in with the first person shooter gear with the all black and the sunglasses and she looked really cool.
Yeah, her and Joe both looked right at home. It
was great.
Yeah, that was a great reveal. Where Sherlock was a Flash hologram, and then it turned out that no, Flash and that Barry and Iris and Joe had been there the whole time. Using that weird, Captain America Winter Soldier, hologram tech.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool. They schooled, and you realize Nora is not cut out to be a bad guy.
Oh no. Bless her sweet little heart.
Oh, you hired these people and then you trusted them? Oh, honey. Oh,
honey.
But yeah, this was a fun episode. And I think we made some movements forward. I think the family's united now. Still not sure whether or not to trust Thawne, but they know they've got to stop Cicada.
And I like the suggestion that, maybe Thawne is different too. Maybe we should. I don't know that they necessarily should, but I do like the idea that Barry could have misjudged, but that also trusting your arch nemesis is how you get killed. So, there's that. It was a quick return to the fold for Nora. I think that storyline could have played out a little bit longer, but we're at the end of the season. We got to do what we got to do. So, okay.
All right. Any news for Flash?
Not so much. We're just rolling along to the big confrontation in the end, whatever that's going to be.
All right. Next episode, iZombie, Season 5 premiere, Thug Death. Clive and Liv were tasked with investigating a zombie-on-human attack that had been caught on video and was causing tensions all over Seattle. Blaine had to knock heads with state border agents who stopped taking bribes from him after watching the attack video. Ravi swiped Thumbbreaker Barnes' brain from Liv and had to hold his temper while watching Peyton on TV and during conference calls with the CDC. An orphan Liv sent Baron to rescue muddled things by trying to bring two of his friends with him. Last-minute reveal, Clive, Liv, and Bix Cahill discovered Bix's girlfriend Lisa's belongings in the woods.
That was a convoluted description.
Oh, yeah.
That was the length of some actual recaps that I've seen published. This show had a lot of ground to cover. I thought it did it really well. I thought everything was introduced really well. And I never want to have Ravi off of that brain ever. That was incredible. Every time he said, in it,
Is that barbecue in the background?
That's barbecue. I'm so sorry, everyone. She really enjoyed iZombie, and she would like us all to know that.
Okay. I agree. I mean, I thought it was fun to see. Who's the actor who plays Ravi? Is it Rahul Kohli?
Yeah, Coley.
Oh, Coley. It was interesting to. I bet that's an accent that he's probably had since he was a kid, and seeing him get to strut that out. That was fun.
Every bit of it, the over possessiveness of Peyton, the threats, the even his stance was different. The way he kind of like poked his head forward and hunched his shoulders. Oh, so good.
Yeah. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Second most fun is Blaine straight up doing a Matthew McConaughey car commercial.
And you see how yes. You see how stupid rich he is, that he's now famous enough that he's endorsing cars.
Oh God. I like that Blaine is living his best life. He's successful. He's got the house. He's got the women. He's got the brains, like literally to eat. That Blaine is such a cool character, and he's been through so many different incarnations. And I'm sure this is pride goeth beforeing a fall here. Goeth beforeing. You know what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy watching whatever happens, whether that's, his empire crumbles or whatever. But that McConaughey commercial, so good.
Yeah.
And I also love who had 6 months and the Blaine begins to speak in third person pool. I forgot how funny this show is. I'm so glad it's back.
Yeah. And, you also got, you just waltz into the precinct. Hey, can I guys give you 10 grand? Like, that's going to make them catch the guy faster.
Like, have you ever met either of the two people you're talking to? Of course, that's not going to make a difference. Clive does not roll like that.
No. But yeah. Blaine is certainly doing well. I mean, the Ravi stuff was cool. I was a little disappointed that Liv didn't get to eat a brain. And it's interesting that she's just kind of like was her normal self this episode.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of that. I don't know if that was the baseline for the new season. Remind us who Liv is, because it's been off the air for a while, and then we can go crazy after that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Now, the real tragedy of this episode, and the thing that I am surprised is not causing a much bigger stir, is the fact that there's a chocolate shortage in Seattle now.
Yes. Number 1, brain shortage. Number 2, chocolate shortage. Equally dangerous in different ways. Heyo.
Yes. It also I think it's one thing to send Clive out for chocolate. It's another one to demand that it be dark chocolate with salted caramel. It's like,
I mean, that is always the chocolate that you should bring me, for the record. But I do understand in a city where there's a shortage. But, cravings are cravings, so what are you gonna do?
Yep. And it's nice to see that what's her name? His wife.
I would have known it if you hadn't asked me. It's not Rabineau.
Dale.
Oh, yeah, Dale. Thank you. Whew.
Dale.
That's just
yes. That she got pregnant very quickly, and it looks like that cure did work. We're going around in a bunch of different places. Speaking of cure, Dr. Collier at the CDC, Ravi had to tell her to put the kibosh on that theory because he didn't want them to target kids with that disease.
And I liked, we had a little bit of suspense there. Not sure if she was going to do it or not. She looks like she's going to be an interesting colleague, conspirator for Ravi. But I appreciated him realizing the magnitude of what he found, but the magnitude of what that meant. That was good. That was good storytelling.
Yeah. And it's also weird. Like it was funny to see him. He got so upset about that he had to battle back and break through the brain to be like, no, I'm not just being mean. Like, you really can't do this. I thought that was interesting to watch. Just going through everything that's in here. A Renegade is still happening. I think it's funny how Major and Liv both have to go through applications. Major has to look through these applications for people who want to leave Seattle, and Liv is going through applications for people who are trying to get into Seattle. I think that's an interesting.
Anybody who has even casually listened to the show is not going to be surprised to hear me say this, but if that parallel journey that they're on doesn't end with the two of them together romantically and happy by the end of this season, I don't even know what I'm going to do. But I hope that is showing us that they're on different paths, but their goals are the same, because their goals are for the good, that's, yeah. I just need that to work out. And by the way, Ed and I texted. He reminded me, hey, maybe watching the finale last season wouldn't be a bad idea. And he was right. So I did that, and a lot happened that I forgot about. But mostly what I was reminded of is how boring Levon was. Man, that love of Liv's life for the time being was not compelling. So give us back Major, who is aware that he lives to be popular. I liked his self-assessment there. No, I know I need to be popular. I get that.
Yeah.
And then the suicide bomber thing, that was wrong.
Oh, that was tragic. And that brings us to Dolly Darkins, who runs a food truck, and goes on TV to debate Peyton about zombie-human relations. And like, just in that moment, I feel like when when that guy goes up to her and she gives him that mission, like, she's immediately one of the most despicable people I've ever seen on this show.
Yeah.
I hate her so much.
Oh, Ed, that's harsh language from you.
Yes. Like, wow, this person needs to be stopped immediately. Don't know if I put too fine a point on that.
Nope, I hear you loud and clear. And I like that it's behind the face of the pleasant blonde woman, that's it's not the guy missing an eye and scarred and like, no, it's the pleasant, like your next door neighbor look. So I like
that. It's literally it's the woman at the end of the block, who gives out free stuff every once in a while. Hey, I got this thing of toothpaste in the mail. I'm not going to use it. You can have it. You'll enjoy it.
Did your neighbor give you toothpaste?
No, I just feel like that's a thing.
Only at Halloween around here, for the record. Do you get the weird neighbor who is like, no candy here? Here's toothpaste.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I feel like that's like a church lady thing, where like they'll make friends with you, and then they're like, oh, they'll give you all this stuff that they don't really want, but they think they could be nice by giving it to you. That's something I've experienced over the years. Going through here, is there that big video and the investigation, and were you suspicious of Bix when we first met him, or did you think like, okay, this is just the guy who can't find his girlfriend?
I guess I wasn't suspicious as I think about it. He seemed genuinely distressed, and I don't know what I was thinking, because the number one suspect always is the husband or boyfriend. But I just kind of thought he was one of those interrogate the loved one and move on. So the ending, that was a downer ending.
Yes. Yeah. And it's interesting that we're starting off with a two-parter, that, this ended with to be continued. Wow. I hope that they catch that they find Lisa in the next episode. Or what's going on. It does seem like, she was the one involved in that attack, but I guess we'll just have to see.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be curious if that opens up a new storyline, or a new, is this going to be not a one and done, but is this going to be what drives the rest of the season? That could very well be the case. So we shall see.
All right. Wow. A lot going on in this show. There's a lot going on in this show. Is there any news for iZombie?
Just Variety did an interesting interview with Rob Thomas, the showrunner. A lot of information in there. It's a great read, but a couple things that I thought were relevant for our conversation is he says the human zombie conflict is the most tense it's ever been. Like, we thought it was tense before, but this is any little incident could be the spark that lights the powder keg. He also said that unlike every other show he's ever done, he had plenty of advance warning that this is the last season, so he promises no cliffhangers. He will resolve everything. Unlike Veronica Mars, that was cruelly taken from us, for example, he is able to craft an ending that's going to satisfy him and hopefully us. And then a lot of little tidbits in there about character paths and things like that. He mentioned that something like Ravi and Peyton, they didn't intend to put those two characters together at the beginning of the show, but that evolved over time as they saw those two interact on screen. So just a great interview in Variety. Give that a look.
Cool. All right. And our final show for this week is Doom Patrol. Season 1, Episode 12. Cyborg Patrol. Vic was held captive by the Bureau of Normalcy inside the ant farm. Silas came to the mansion looking for Vic and helped our heroes plan a rescue mission. Last minute reveal, after learning that he had been fooled by Mr. Nobody, Vic held his father in his arms and cried.
I still don't enjoy the Cyborg storylines. What's wrong with me? I have a mental block. I like the rest of them, but you put Cyborg on there and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not as weird. It's
maybe that's it.
Yeah. I mean, he's the straight up superhero of the bunch. So I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there, but I enjoyed this storyline. I mean, I wanted to learn a lot more about 722, who was his cellmate in the ant farm, or the guy in the cell next door.
Was that an actor we should have recognized, by the way?
I don't know. It sounded like it, right? It sounded.
I mean, for a brief hot moment, I was just like, "Is that John Hamm?" No, it's not.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, this show's not that good. Like, they wouldn't cast the guy who everyone thinks should have been Batman for the last 10 years. But
now you've got me thinking about John Hamm Batman. Thanks, Ed.
Sorry. But I thought that moment at the end, where he realizes that all of this was a ruse by Mr. Nobody. I found that tragic.
Yeah. And to have it revealed, to have it revealed through that like video game hack of a system, that was a cruel way to do that. A cruel, playful, awful thing to do.
Yeah, and that was the first time. Like, Mr. Nobody's been an interesting villain, kind of fun. That's the first time where it's like, oh no, we need to stop him. Like,
wait, that's the first time?
Oh. Yeah. Like that's the time where it's like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. Like, this is like, no, this is legitimate danger. Mm-hmm. We need to stop him. We need to save Niles and stop Mr. Nobody. Like, that was I found it really scary. Yeah. That the trauma that he put Vic through. And I hope Silas is okay.
I wondered about that. Silas wasn't moving, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cyborg's a pretty powerful machine. You get thrown around and punched in the face by him. It's gonna knock the wind out of you, at least. But yeah, and this was a different type of episode because a lot of the focus was all on Vic, either him in the ant farm or the rest of the team planning to infiltrate the ant farm. I was at first disappointed that Rita stayed back, and when they had the reveal that she'd been hiding inside of Cliff the whole time.
I loved that actress's noises as she emerged from his robot mouth. Ew, 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 ew. Yeah.
What did she say his inside smelled like?
Like a rusty oil drum or something like that. And all I have to say is, Cliff, you cannot keep blaming Admiral Whiskers forever. Not everything is the rat's fault. Like, we're on to you.
You could throw an air freshener in there. I'm just saying.
I don't understand why they haven't hosed him down. Like, surely they can run some sort of stiff bristle brush over his insides. I don't know.
Yeah, but you run the risk of it actually rusting out. You don't know how it's going to react to water.
Yeah. I also very much enjoyed Discount Dexter. Pre-torture dancing to the sign. Ugh, amazing. Hey, fun fact. I was a pom-pom girl in 1991, and we totally did a dance routine to The Sign by Ace of Base. So part of me remembers the steps and was like, oh, I could dance along with him, but he's holding a bone saw, so I won't.
Yeah. Also, of all the songs to choose to use for your Reservoir Dogs homage.
So upsetting. So upsetting.
Thankfully,
what a choice.
Thankfully, he never got to use that saw. So we didn't see the Reservoir Dogs go full homage. So you could probably still listen to that song afterwards. Unlike Stuck in the Middle with You. But this is what happens when you send amateurs to do professional work.
Very true. And Karen handled things. Karen took care of it.
Yeah. Yes. When she shows up, it's like, oh no. I was like, oh.
And yet, oh yes, it got her out of it. I was like, nah, Karen got this.
It did. But I was afraid that they wouldn't be able to get Karen because it took so much to get Karen back down. After that, I'm just glad.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, and the disappointing storyline here was Larry. I feel like we did learn a lot about the Negative Man. He remembered being inside the ant farm, and Larry and Negative Man were separated. It's weird because usually when Negative Man flies out of Larry's like immobile. And it seems like now he can actually walk and operate when the Negative Man is separated from him.
Which I did find a little surprising.
Yeah. But if for some reason that storyline did not have as much of an impact as I thought it would.
Same. And maybe it's because we've gotten so much good stuff with Larry in the past. We've gotten really good content. Last week was a great episode for him. So maybe we just were expecting too much. Mm-hmm. That it's led us to believe that we were going to get a little bit more oomph out of that storyline, and because we only had that bit of content, it just didn't resonate as much. Maybe.
I don't know. Oh, this show's getting good. Mm-hmm.
And we have how many episodes?
This was 12, so we have 3 more.
Man, everything is ending in the same time frame. It's going to be feast and famine.
Yep. We're getting there. Oh man. All right. Anything more for Doom Patrol?
No, just that a little bit of news. I guess we are going to see apparently Flex Mentallo next week. So
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. I already saw the image. They saw the episode image, and that is exactly how he looks like in the comics. So I'm looking forward to it. Sarah, you have no idea what you're in for.
That's cool. I do not, and this show has yet to disappoint me. So, yay.
All right. So that brings us to news for other shows.
Yeah, so we have some news for other shows, starting with Batwoman. Which
music.
I guess officially is not a show yet, but come on, it's going to be. They just haven't announced it. IO9 had a great interview with the set designer who talked about how they built the world for Batwoman. They really wanted to make sure she wasn't an extension of Batman. So they wanted to make sure she had her own imagery and themes, that she has that the color you associate with her is red. That's from the comics. That's what they tried to build around for her. You know, she keeps her suit in a hollowed out log, so it's a little bit more natural, back to nature, rather than Batman's more techie stuff. She also said that DC gave them a list of content and properties they were allowed to use, and they used every single one. Every single thing on that list, they built into the background or in the storyline or in the set design or what have you. So you're going to hear me say this quite a bit this week, but cool interview with this behind the scenes person. Check it out on IO9.
Wow. That is exciting. That seems like it could almost be sensory overload.
Too much goodness.
Cool. I hope the show gets greenlit. We should know soon. We should know like within the next couple of weeks.
The biggest shock of the year would be if it wasn't greenlit for a full series, honestly.
Man, that would be the biggest disappointment since we didn't get the series green light for Beverly Hills Cop.
You have shocked me into silence, sir.
There was a Beverly Hills Cop TV show, and I was really only looking forward to it because Kevin Pollak was going to play the district attorney. But, all right.
You have again shocked me into silence that the thing about Beverly Hills Cop you were most looking forward to was the DA. Yes,
I'm a Kevin Pollak fan. All right. he's him and Stephen Root are the two guys. Whenever I think a movie's bad and they show up, I'm like, okay, we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
I would say that about Stephen Root. I guess I don't feel that way about Kevin Pollak. I don't not feel that way about Kevin Pollak. Huh.
But yeah. And Eddie Murphy was going to be a recurring character. It was going to, the main character was going to be like his nephew or something. But yeah, we didn't get to see Axel Foley again. But we're gonna see Batwoman, right? Let's stay optimistic. Batwoman.
Yeah, we're gonna stay optimistic. She and her fabulous red hair will be gracing our screen soon. Okay, next show, Swamp Thing. The
music.
show has officially wrapped filming, and it had to go back for some reshoots when the episode order was reduced, but that is done. We have a new sort of promotional title card with the tagline, "Go green or else." So I, at this point, do not know what to expect from that show, but it is premiering this month, May 31st, right?
Yeah. And this is really fast. And I'm really curious. I hope this show's good. I'm really looking forward to this. But some strange news around it. So
I'm choosing to be optimistic that they're going to give us tight 10 episodes that tell the story they want to tell. And if we don't get a season 2, it'll be okay. That is my hope, because I like everything I've seen about it so far. Speaking of liking everything I've seen about it so far, Lucifer. Guess what? A cool interview with the showrunners this week. I told you, you're going to hear me say that a lot. Variety talked to the showrunners, and this was a lot about the move to Netflix. The showrunners designed the season to be watched in a chunk because that's how people watch Netflix. So rather than the week-to-week episodes that do kind of wrap up, they ended each one with a bit of a cliffhanger to keep you to get you to binge. So it's a little bit different vibe in terms of how each episode ends, but it's with 10 episodes, there's not a lot of time for lighter episodes or filler episodes, so they really focused on character plot, moving that forward. They also said there's less hand-holding, less previously on, because you have just watched the previously on, so they didn't have to kind of reintroduce things over and over, so it's just more efficient. If they have a season 5, they are hoping to do the musical episode then. They weren't able to do it this season, but if they have 5, they really want everybody to sing, and I really want that too. So good stuff in there. Talking about it, obviously you get the same. It's going to be darker, sexier, etc. So I'm excited. Ed, you excited? You excited?
I'm excited.
One thing I also read was how improved Lucifer's devil face is when we see it, that the special effects budget seems to have jumped a little bit. So that is going to be kind of fun to watch too, to see if you notice a difference between, so moving on to Pennyworth.
Pennyworth music.
We have some character photos. EW.com has just some still shots of all the different characters. Ed, they look British.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Lots of cool British characters. Interesting stuff. So that there are some descriptions in there that I didn't read too much. But I like the direction that this is going, and it seems like this is a lot more planned out than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting. Do
we both still think this is a fake show?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if this show didn't have a Batman connection. If it would still work. And it seems like this is just about someone who happens to be to have a future with Batman. This just looks like a straight up 60s British spy show. I'm all about that.
Yeah, that is a thing that we are gonna be watching. So. Now to a thing that I'm much more excited to watch. Watchmen.
Watchmen
Who
music.
watches them? Watchmen.
Yes.
We have 3 different little teaser trailers that show basically single shots of moving images. One of them is a pirate flag. One of them talks about Mars, and one of them is an American flag that does not look like our American flag. And of course, all of those reference the alt-US history of it all, Dr. Manhattan going to Mars. And of course, are we going to get the pirate story, Ed?
We're going to get the pirate story? They're nuts.
Are we going to show that pirate?
You're nuts. You're going to be out of your mind.
I mean, if you think about it, I could actually see a setup where American Gods opened each episode last season with a Coming to America story and then got into the meat of the episode. I could see Watchmen do a 5-minute intro every week of the pirate story and then get into the meat of that. That would be cool. I would welcome that. I just want to see the pirate story. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do. It's such a sad, awful story, but give me pirates.
Well, I think it's just because that is so literary. It's such the metaphor of it all. And it's the kind of thing that I think half the people who read Watchmen don't understand. I had to read it 2 or 3 times to really understand like what Alan Moore is going for there.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was he not just going from man's inhumanity to man? Was there?
I mean, yeah.
By the way, you sound like Charlie from Legends of Tomorrow this week. It's a metaphor.
Oh, see, that's the problem. She should have read the books. She shouldn't have gone up there without reading the books.
Yeah, you try to skate without doing your homework, and look what happens.
Yep. All right. So Watchmen's coming. So okay. And
I do believe you can look for the full trailer to drop during the Game of Thrones finale. So what is that? 3 weeks from now?
Oh.
2 weeks from now? However we're counting.
Yeah, and
there are 3 episodes of Game of Thrones left.
Okay. Cool. All right, what's up next?
That's it. Winner of the week.
Oh, that's it. That's all the news. Okay, so yeah, winner of the week.
That's all the news.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go first? Mine's very straightforward.
I you know what? I'll go first because mine's also straightforward.
Oh, sure.
And I think you it disappointed me a little bit, but I'm just gonna go back. To me, the big breakthrough here was Kara Danvers, investigative reporter. I thought the first half of that show, seeing her put all of that together, to me it embodied everything, the opposite of everything you've always told me you hated about Kara and Iris. I feel like, okay, they finally did Sarah right. That this finally worked to me, and I was very impressed.
And then I was still mad about the interview at the end. There's no pleasing me. I'm so sorry, Supergirl.
So yeah, I'll call that a win. I'll call it a win.
You're right. She worked hard. I mean, you could tell she put time into it, and she did good work. You're right.
Yeah,
that's a win.
And I feel like we should see more of that going forward.
I hope they keep up that momentum. I really do. We've got a couple 3 episodes left, and I'm hoping they've made a conscious effort to say we're going to do Kara, we're going to do journalism this season, and they have. I'm hoping it's all an upswing from here. Fingers crossed.
Cool.
My winner of the week, Mick Rory.
Aww.
He writes romance, he makes connections with people, he makes them feel feelings, and he stepped up and he owned it. He met the people who like his work. It was just a great moment for the character, and it made me feel so happy for him and for myself both. It was so good. So, Mick, my winner of the week.
All right, Sarah, we did an episode.
We did. We sure did.
We did. We got through 6. We got 6 more coming up. We have 16 episodes next week.
Oh my god. It's fun. Send coffee, guys.
Yes.
Send coffee.
Thoughts
and prayers.
Send thoughts, prayers, and coffee. That I don't drink.
Okay, in that case, like Red Bull or
I'll have a cup of tea in the morning.
All right, send Ed tea. Earl Grey, hot.
No, I never understood. Earl Grey is a nighttime tea. You're meant to drink. It's like sleepy time. You're meant to drink that when you want to fall asleep. Just standard.
I feel like chamomile hot would have been less baller.
Yeah. It's I mean, just straight black tea. That's fine. Yeah, and nothing in it. Just straight black. Maybe a squirt of lemon, but I don't need that.
Coffee, lots of cream, hot. There you go. That's my replicator order.
All right. Well, that's the DCTV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Edward O'Hare TBD.
I'm at Sarah Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister shows, the Wicked Theory Podcast and Preacher vs. Preacher. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam.